So about 6 months ago, I was scrolling through Reddit and I found a post. And I know, I feel like this is how I start like every single YouTube video recently, but I promise you, this one has been one that's kind of stuck in the back of my mind for a good part of 6 months. And I've wanted to do a video on this for so long, and I never really got the opportunity. And now that I've finished uni, I'm like, what else have I got? But basically, the poster originally was talking about furry YouTubers, and particularly mainly popular furry YouTubers. But in their own words, they suggested that the content that furry YouTubers produce sucks, and that they really don't really post all that often. And I must admit, I've seen a lot of popular furry YouTubers, and I really like the content they make. So I'm not going to talk about that because it's all subjective. Everyone's got different likes and dislikes, and again, that's what makes this world amazing. We all have different thoughts and feelings towards different things, because if we all like the same thing, we'd only get one thing. So the fact that we all like different things means we all get a hold of different things. Does that make sense? Am I just confusing? But what I really wanted to talk about was the latter half of this, when I was talking about like the frequency of furry YouTubers. And I must admit, I really went into this fully expecting to talk about how furry YouTubers don't post that often, or perhaps like furry YouTubers, like there's such a massive gap between the last time they posted and stuff. And that led me to make a post on YouTube and Twitter asking for you guys, like, what furry YouTubers do you guys know? So I'm not gonna lie, I was fully expecting maybe one or two furry YouTubers to be posted and I could like check them out. No, you guys sent like tens and nailed. I think overall in the end it was about 98 furry YouTubers. So honestly, guys, thank you so much. That was super sweet of you. So basically what I did was I went into every single individual YouTube channel and I put them into a category of content, like what did they make, as well as finding out when their last uploaded video was. And after that, I'd get like an average of each content creation, just to see how long each content kinda makes. See if we find like a pattern or something. And honestly, a lot of them made sense. And that'll make sense in a second, but here are some of the results. So these are the average last upload days for each category. And I must admit, like I said before, I was totally going to come into this thinking, oh yeah, like furry YouTubers, they never upload anything. And by looking at this, clearly they do for active furry YouTubers. And don't get me wrong, like there's some that do make sense that they take a little bit longer, like animation and music. Because with music, you gotta make the music, you gotta record the music, you gotta edit the music, you've got to create a video for it, so I can 100% see why it takes a little bit longer. But one thing I did notice was that lifestyle and commentary videos generally take a little bit longer, in the same way as animation. And that somewhat surprised me as somebody who does make that kind of content. It got me thinking, like, I wonder why perhaps people like myself take a little bit longer to create videos. So for these channels, I can think of two reasons why some of these channels don't really upload all that frequent. And one of the reasons is that you kind of run out of things to talk about eventually. And don't get me wrong, the furry community is massive. I love talking about personas, fursuits, fur cons, your furry experience, mental health in the furry community, and there's so much. And I know some like commentators talk about like furry drama and stuff like that, but eventually you kind of run out of things to talk about. And I think sometimes the biggest fear, particularly when you're furry content, or like just any content creation in general, but there is that fear of becoming repetitive. You don't want to produce boring content. You don't want people to be bored with your content. So sometimes you want to slow it down so you have a good video out. But one thing I would say is the second reason is that sometimes your videos get a lot of hate. And again, this is something that is just in general on YouTube, or like anywhere to be fair. But as a furry, sometimes you get a lot of anti-furry hate on your channel, which I've had a few people send threatening comments to me, and I've had tons of people do like dislike bombing on some of my videos. And the moment that stuff kind of happens, YouTube starts panicking and it starts going, okay, people are clearly disliking this video, we're gonna close that down. And I think that's sometimes a struggle with YouTube, is that sometimes they don't differentiate between a bad video and hate, like hate disliking. So I think for some furry content creators, I think it's less so for like the bigger YouTubers, but particularly when you're starting off and you're trying to find your way in YouTube, your channel can sometimes get bombarded with dislikes. And it sucks because it really discourages some people from producing content, because it's like, well, I can't be a furry on this platform because I'll get people hating. I'll get people deliberately sending dislikes. And I think that can be discouraging for a lot of furry YouTubers. And if you yourself are a furry YouTuber yourself, please let me tell you, keep going. Like, honestly, I know if you do have that situation with somebody, like, you get a ton of like dislikes on a video, please don't let it discourage you. Know that you're freaking awesome, and like I said, as long as you're not hurting anybody or doing anything illegal, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy, not anybody else. And if making content makes you happy, then 100% go for it. Like I said in my video like a couple of weeks ago, like make content that makes you happy, and don't think about like numbers. Don't think about how this video is going to do or how well that stream is going to do. Just make content that you love, and eventually the people who have the same vibes as you, same energy, will magnate. Is that the word I'm looking for? What's that? Attract. You will attract the people you give your energy out to. So please, if you take anything from this, make sure you do that. Keep going. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for getting this far, guys. I know this is a massive big ramble, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I've wanted to do it for a while. And like I say, that even through the research for this video, I kind of proved myself wrong. And I think that's the joy of doing a little bit of research, thinking about these things, is that sometimes you can surprise yourself. And like I said, there's a whole load of furry YouTubers that are still active, doing a ton of stuff, so I'm going to see, hopefully future Woofles doing edit. Hopefully they've got like a few names like scrolling down there for you guys. Please check out these beans, they're freaking awesome. I have checked every single one of them. But yeah, seriously, I really appreciate everybody checking this video out. And I hope this helped anyone. Like I said, keep going, and I know YouTube might not be the best with our algorithms and helping us out with pushing our content out there, but be happy, make sure you're happy first. Nothing else matters, your happiness comes first. So thank you so much, guys, and if you take anything from this video, remember that you mattered yesterday, you matter today, and you matter tomorrow, and I love every single one of you. Mwah!